So in the meditation, I will teach holographic breathing, which is this motion of the jaw I described. Then we will go on to this movement of the hands and feet, arms and legs, and I'll describe that. I've got a foot. So my handy little foot. I'll have to get a hand as well, actually. So the movement of the feet, this is a bit like the diaphragm, and it's the same as the palms of the hands. They all mirror each other. So on the in-breath, that all flattens, and on the out-breath, it cups. So that is breathing in, that is breathing out. Breathing in, it's like the diaphragm flattening. Breathing out, the diaphragm doming. And you're not pulling it into a dome, all the muscles just relax and it goes back to that cup. So if you look at it, you're exercising all of these bones. See all the bones opening and all the bones, see there, you're adjusting all of the bones of your hands and feet. I'm not sure that that will work to that extent in a real body, but you're getting them moving, and you're not just getting them moving, you're building up the strength of the hands and feet, so the arch will hold its position and will move rather than being a fixture. That is when I strongly started doing this about 4 or 5 years ago. I'd had some really good orthotics that had lasted for a long time, and they came to the end of their life, and I looked around and I thought, I can't be bothered to do that again. I want to be able to walk with my feet on the earth. Now, you know, this movement of the hands and feet, I'd learnt it from the very beginning when holographic breathing came through. I learnt it, and I thought, every time I walk, I'm just going to breathe with my feet doing that. So I'm walking along, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in with my feet. So it may be 6 steps, breathing in, 6 steps, breathing out. So my foot, the muscles of the foot or feet didn't give way, and they kept the arch. And not only did I stay strong, that worked through all of the muscles, all of the bones, and through everything. And then when I had the hernia, I was practicing it lying down as well, so it was part of the breath all of the time. And I think the temptation is to do this, breathing in, breathing out, or just display it, breathing in and breathing out. But then there's no tension from here. You've got to muscles through the front of the leg will pull it up on the in-breath. Then as they relax down, it'll go the other way. You have to do the same through the muscles of the back of the leg. So these are tightening, pulling that up. These are tightening, pulling that up. And with both of them balancing around the pivot of the leg, so they balance either way, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. So it's not just this, that doesn't adjust the bones of foot, that just flaps the whole foot. It's got to be this, breathing in, breathing out. See, if you flap it, it doesn't adjust those bones, but if you get the same back and front, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, it adjusts everything, moves everything, and that will release through the whole spine, through the whole body. The same with the hands, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. It's adjusting all of the little bones in the hands, and it's toning them, and it's toning the arms, because to get this, you're tightening, all the muscles of your arms are tightening to do that, and all the muscles of the legs are tightening to get this movement. So on the in-breath, they're all tightening, but that connects to all of the muscles of the breath through the whole body that are tightening on the in-breath. So you get this exaggerate, you can feel it in the arms and legs. You can get a strong tensioning, to work on it. Whereas in the body, it's so natural, you don't feel it so much. And this, what we're going to be especially working with is how this travels up through the spine, because it strongly goes into the back of the body, the lower back, up through the whole spine, and then up round the back of the head, and all the muscles of the front connect up through the front and through here, and also through the jaw. And on the in-breath, these muscles here, well, the muscles here are tightening to pull up the ribs, but so are the muscles from the top of the rib cage to the hyoid bone under the jaw. So as they tighten, lifting the ribs up, but the jaw relaxes down. You would, if the jaw was just relaxed and there wasn't this unconscious hold, the jaw would do holographic breathing automatically. We're just connecting something that for some reason has been disconnected. So we'll learn holographic breathing, we'll learn the hands and feet, and then we're going to look at, because we'll have a stronger movement of the breath, we'll look at how that starts creating this breathing motion of the skull, of the cranium and face, and how that works. I'm going to show you how that works now. So, for the new people who are just learning holographic breathing, all this stuff I'm saying, as long as you learn holographic breathing, that's all that matters. That will be doing this anyway on its own. You don't have to understand what I'm saying. As long as you learn holographic breathing, take that way. You can come back to the video, you can come back to the meditation in the video. That will be released in a couple of days. So for the new people, you may learn all of it, which is great, but you don't have to. I don't want to get people confused by giving them too much information. If you only learn holographic breathing and practiced holographic breathing, I tell you, it's the best thing in the universe. Here's a spine, here's a strange spine. These are ribs, or supposed to be ribs here, and that will also carry up. We're going to stick a head on it. So to understand what we're working with today, all of the muscles from the arms and legs through the whole body, they're tightening, and they're tightening between the ribs, they're tightening between the vertebrae, and they're connecting from here to the back of the head, they're connecting to the side of the head, they're rising up and connecting into the neck here, and also from the front of the rib cage here, they're connecting up to the mastoid processes there, and you get these also connecting to the hyoid bone. So all of these connect, and what they do is they pull the head down. So they're all connecting around the spine, and on the in-breath they're pulling it down onto the spine. So you, as you breathe in, it's actually shortening the spine on the in-breath and lengthening the spine on the out-breath. They're tightening, and they will pull the spine straight. So in one way the spine gets longer, but also they're torsioning, so they're pulling the vertebrae closer together. So you get breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Now, as the cranium is pulled, this becomes the focal point. And as the cranium is pulled down onto that, it opens the back, it opens the side. The whole cranial base opens like a flower, and you get all sorts of movements through the whole face and through the whole cranium from that one basic thing. In the breath, the cranium being pulled down onto the spine, breathing in, breathing out, and then this cranial motion that people talk about in osteopathy and cranial osteopathy. I'm not going to go into depth, but that happens in the cranium naturally with the breath, and more pronounced, somehow hollow, because the jaw movement, as soon as the jaw is actually moving with the breath rather than being stuck and holding against the breath, then it all starts working. That cranial rhythm works through everything with the breath. And now, I wasn't going to teach this, but we were working with the sinuses. You've got big sinuses here in the face, but most of the sinuses are actually between the face and cranium. So I wanted to teach that, how to get to those sinuses, how to breathe with those sinuses, and it involved teaching this opening of the in-breath, closing through this whole area. I know I talk too much for a lot of people. Just let it go through you. You don't have to remember this. It may be too much information, but also I'm working with channels. I just open my mouth in a way, and I don't normally talk like this. They just come through and I just natter. And you can let the energies just go through you. Let your mind relax. You don't have to remember what I'm saying. You don't have to remember it intellectually. You can let go of your mind. You don't have to start getting worried, or I don't understand this. It doesn't matter. You'll get an experience of it in the meditation, but somehow me whittering on about it and trying to explain it lines people up for the meditation intellectually, emotionally, physically, so it energetically, so it lines up what we're going to do think of it as a whole healing experience. So I'm going to take the face off. Normally by this stage the face has already fallen off of this, but because I want the face to fall off it hasn't. It's just stayed there. Everybody who comes normally knows that I hold this up and the face just falls off. So I'm going to take the face off. So here we got what we normally look like, and that is what we look like without a face. Not so pretty. And we got the sinuses here, and the maxillary sinuses here, big, but also between the eyes. This is called the ethmoid. These full of little sinuses. We're going to breathe with those. Also here, got sinuses coming up here and here, all around here. And these aren't just kind of air sacs that aren't connected to it. They connect all into this central breath, and they're designed to breathe. They give off carbon dioxide, they absorb oxygen straight in through the mucous membrane. The air naturally circles in them with every breath. They produce nitric oxide, which is a deep healer through your whole system. So to get your sinuses breathing is just incredible for your immune system, to stop infections. Nitric oxide kills infections, it kills bacteria, it kills viruses, kills everything. And that happens through the whole body. This thing that most people don't know about is being produced in all of our endothelial cells, through all of the capillaries, producing more or creating that the cells receive more oxygen, the capillaries dilate, everything relaxes and dilates. And one of the most potent places that this is produced is in your sinuses. So there's something special about the sinuses. There's something special energetically. So we've got sinuses here, big like lungs. Sinuses between the eyes there. And then you come down into the, is it called the sphenoid? I call it the balance bone because it's, I'll take it out in a minute so you can see it, but there's sinuses right here. The pituitary gland sits on, this is hollow in the middle, this like winged phoenix is hollow in the middle, a big sinus there, and you've got the nasal, you've got the esophagus or whatever it's called coming down here, and the trachea. This is all air space, and then you've got these big sinuses, so they breathe in and out of the air coming down there. So you've got sinuses, sinuses, sinuses. Then in the inner ear, that's basically a big hollow space, so that's like a sinus, and that also comes down into the air passageways here, and the whole mastoid process, whole thing is made up of tiny little sinuses, but they're all connected, they all breathe, air comes in and out of them, and their health is imperative. But they all have different energies, and we will work with this breathing motion, but what I've advertised and what I feel I should teach is the different energies of these different bones and these different areas. Now, I will describe them. Again, I found when I talk about these energies, people knock out, and that's fine. If you knock out, that's fine. But it will preempt you getting knocked out in the meditation. So, you know, it will help in a way. So the back of the head here, which is also, I'm going to take it off so people, well, no, I'll leave it as it is. I'll take it off so you can see what I mean in a minute. You've got, which I call the, I've forgotten what I call it now, but it's the deep earth energies of this balance bone that the spine sits on. So you've got the deep earth energies at the back, and that connects to the whole back movement. The muscles from the heels connect through the back of the leg, through the back of the pelvis, right up through the whole spine and connect here. You've got an exact, complete, integrated movement from the heels to the back of the head. And the heels are this deep earth energy, back of the head's this deep earth energy, opens on the in-breath, closes on the out-breath. And you'll get an experience of that, and that really relates a lot to the breath in the abdomen and lower abdomen. Then these bones at the side here, this is much more the mastoid process. If you put your fingers behind your ear, you'll feel a bone there. That is called the mastoid process. And that will connect to your chest. Well, lots of different muscles come into it, and that will lift and drop the chest of the breath. But they relate to the lung circuit. You'll feel the energy change when we come into that area. You'll feel the movement of the breath changing from your abdomen to your chest and lungs, and the movement of the breath. And you'll feel the lightness of the air in these sinuses, and they relate to the big sinuses in the face. Again, I know it's a shed load of information. Don't try and remember it. Just let it breeze through you. I live it, so I know it for 20 or 30, longer. How long, when did I start this? 45 years I've been working with these energies, so I know them. I just know them. You don't have to know them in the way I do. Then from the outside we're coming, this is the fire circuit. This phoenix is the fire circuit. We're going to come into here. There's no sinuses. That relates to the base of the fire circuit, the pubic arch, the ovaries, testes, uterus and prostate. And then we're going to come up to where this sinus is in the middle. The pituitary gland sits down into that, which is like the heart. Fire circuit relates to the heart. Relates from the phoenix here straight through into the nasal passageways, which is the heart for the face. This is the heart for the cranium, nasal passageways, the heart for the face. And we will experience these two sinuses breathing in the center of the fire phoenix, which are a bit like the lungs for the fire phoenix. Then we'll be coming forwards into the ethmoid, bright white light in the ethmoid. This is what we call the yellow energy circuit. It relates to the nose. The breath in the nose relates to the breath and sinuses in the ethmoid. the energy will completely change. That relates to different vertebrae, different organs, through the whole body. We're just getting a very general idea. You'll feel a difference in the energy. Just want to get that sinus breathing. So these are all, that's directly through the, where the join of the face to the cranium, or the cranium to the face, and really honestly bringing energy through here. Right from the beginning, I could feel, trying to work out, because I could feel the whole face breathing and I could feel the whole cranium breathing. I was thinking, how's that working? I could feel it energetically working. And that transition energetically and functioning, there's something very precious about that, and fundamentally, deeply changes people. It's a wonderful thing. So from that, we're going to drop back into the lung circuit, these big sinuses here, and the mastoid process. Just because after that, you come into these cheekbones, which are the blue energies. It's the kidneys, the adrenals, the whole waterworks. And that very different energy, and that's these, it's also the forehead here, it's these sinuses here that open up. See, each set of sinuses has a different energy, a completely different energy and a completely different feel. So if you can feel the energies, then you can feel that sinus working. And that is like the breath for that circuit on a higher level. That brings energy into those organs, into that circuit. And then from the blue energy circuit, we move into the high energies, which are brain, cerebellum, and the arms and legs are in that circuit. That is the eye sockets. The top of the eye sockets here doesn't have sinuses. It's the back of the balance bone there, and where it comes next to the spine. This should be a bit bigger. It's this area here, but this is center line, kind of at the back of the body, same as the deep earth energy is at the back of the body, which are the lowest, and the highest energy is the higher connection through the brain, through the eyes. It's at the back, the top of the head here. And it reflects the same thing I'm describing. Now, I don't know that there's a name. The cranial base is something different because that goes through the mouth. This is what I call the cranial base, this whole connection. You know, that map that I've shown you is very similar to how the energies are mapped out in the hands and feet, how they're mapped out through the whole body, through the pelvis, through the different organs. So that is what we're working with today, and I'm sorry if that was just loads of information, but that is what we're working with. I think that's it. I'm going to describe the holographic breathing again. I don't think I have to do any more because everything I've described, I'll just talk it out in the meditation and follow. Some people have been coming every Sunday for years and they will already know all of this and they can just follow along easily. Other people will be new. All you have to do is get the basic holographic breathing. That will be more than enough. So, holographic breathing. New people, listen well. The lips are relaxed and closed. The tongue is relaxed and on the roof of the mouth. It's the upper surface of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, the tip of the tongue close to or touching the teeth, and it can be half an inch of the tongue, it can be an inch, it can be the whole tongue, but it must feel comfortable. And then on the in-breath, the jaw gently opening. On the out-breath, the jaw is gently closing, half a finger width. It's not a big motion, and once we get it going, you start learning it, it's an exercise, but at a point, it just integrates with all of these muscles that we've been talking about. just connects to those, and it starts the breathing motion of the face. Just not like it starts it, by not having the jaw held or locked against the breath, by letting the jaw move with the breath and having the lips closed and having the tongue on the roof of the mouth. That connects all of those vectors through the whole face, and the whole face starts breathing. It balances with the whole cranium. You start getting this breathing motion through. So there's this breathing motion, but there's also the energies. There's transcendence, there's channeling, there's connecting to the higher earth, they're connected to automatically. All of these different healing modes start just from doing that. So I'm teaching this really quite refined things today, but just doing holographic breathing, practicing holographic breathing, you will just open all of that for yourself naturally, in your own way. It won't just stay still, or I'm doing this thing to relax me. You will start progressing. It will start working through your body. It will start healing you. It will start aligning you with the energies of the new times. It's a wondrous thing. Now I'm going to just demonstrate it so you can get an idea, and you'll notice how subtle the movement is. You probably won't even see it, but it's very subtle, but deeply, deeply relaxing. So I'm just going to do 4 or 5 breaths. And straight away, no hesitation, it's just instant. I just move into this deeply relaxing. I guess people will think of it as an altered state. I think what I'm not when I'm not doing holographic breathing is the altered state, and I'm just coming home, how I'm meant to be when I'm doing holographic breathing, but I just move into this deeply transcendental place. I feel the energies moving through my brain. I can feel the connection to my higher self. Everything starts aligning, everything starts balancing. If you're learning this for the first time, it is deeply relaxing. People pass in and out of consciousness when I teach. And to learn it, you've got to stay conscious and do all of the things leading into it to actually learn the holographic breathing. Once it's going, it doesn't matter. It's like riding a bike. Once it's actually happening, that is fine. But in that lead up to learning it, you need to be aware, you need to stay awake. So if you're learning it for the first time, do it sitting up, because if you're lying down, a good chance you'll just get totally relaxed and then miss bits of the first fundamental learning. Once it's going, I will invite people to lie down, because to do the movement of the hands and feet is much easier when you're lying down, because you want the arms and legs out straight. So, we will learn, get that motion going, get that all happening naturally, and then we'll move into the hands, feet, arms and legs, and we'll feel it through the spine and the effect it's having through the whole cranium. Then we're going to work up and down those points between the face and the cranium. And I don't know how far we will get with that, because when I start working with the energies, I start feeling the pressure of the group, because people have been coming and working with those energies, they will sit into it. But when they're new to people, there's quite a lot to become aware of. So we'd just be going with that as to how far we get in that transition. There's no particular speed of breath, whatever feels comfortable. There's no particular depth of breath, whatever feels comfortable. It is not connected breathing. If you're new and a breath work and do connected breathing, there's spaces between the breaths. It's just a natural, normal breath. It will deepen once the holographic breathing starts. So it's a strange system in a way that we're not really doing anything with the breath. It's the same speed, it's the same depth. We just, the jaw, we take out this block. The jaw just starts naturally moving with the breath. We remove that block. And because the lips are closed, the tongue, it opens this whole healing world. I don't think there's anything else to say. All right, so we're going to start. We'll do a little thing to bring in the energies. You know, you will naturally start connecting with the higher energies in the earth. So we're going to do that consciously to start. So closing your eyes. And if you know holographic breathing, relaxing into the holographic breathing. If you don't know holographic breathing, just breathing naturally with your own normal breath. And sending a smile to the earth, sending some energy, sending a smile to the earth, and allowing the earth to say hello back. And notice what that feels like through your body and through your energies. Allowing yourself to connect with the earth. And sending a smile, sending some energy to the higher self and the beneficial energies. The beneficial energies are any channels you want to work with, any divine teachers, divine energies, any kind of help you wish, as long as it is beneficial. So the higher self and beneficial energies, and allow the higher self and the beneficial energies to say hello back. Allow them in. If you wish, allow them in and notice what that feels like. Okay, and asking the earth, the higher self and the beneficial energies to be with you through the whole session, through the whole webinar, as your guide and healing energy. Okay, so having your eyes closed, make sure your eyes are closed, and we're going to start just gently, have the lips closed, the tongue on the roof of the mouth, the breath is through the nose, and just start doing a little up-down motion of the jaw, a bit like chewing, so you can get the experience that you can move the jaw and keep the lips closed. This little bouncing the jaw up and down. Okay, and then slow the motion of the jaw down. Do a slower, softer motion of the jaw. And then when you feel ready, as the jaw is opening, letting the breath come in through the nose. As the jaw is closing, letting the breath come out through the nose. So this part is quite physical. We're going to change as we go through. So starting off, the lips are closed, the tongue is on the roof of the mouth, the breath is through the nose. As you let the jaw open, it will draw the breath in through the nose. As you relax the jaw closed, the breath will come out through the nose. Relax the back of your head. Relax the back of your neck. Jaw gently opens and the breath comes in. The jaw gently closes and the breath leaves. Small, relaxed motion of the jaw. As the jaw is gently opening, the breath comes in through the nose. As the jaw is closing, the breath comes out through the nose. Notice it feels like a little bellows. The mouth is like a little bellows as the jaw is relaxing open, drawing the breath in through the nose. As the jaw is relaxing closed, the breath is leaving through the nose. It's like a little motor, it's like a little pump. Jaw gently opens, the breath comes in. The jaw gently closes, the breath leaves. Okay, and when you're used to that, we're going to change the gestalt. And we're going to bring the awareness to the nose. As the breath comes in through the nose, the jaw relaxes open. As the breath leaves through the nose, the jaw relaxes closed. Notice how it all changes. Notice how it becomes much softer, much easier. Breathing in, the jaw relaxes open. Breathing out, the jaw relaxes closed. The lips stay closed all of the time. The tongue stays on the roof of the mouth all of the time. If it feels tense in any way, do the movement more slowly or smaller or softer. So softer, slower, smaller movement. If it feels uncomfortable, if it feels okay, just carrying on. The in-breath, the teeth are separating. On the out-breath, the teeth are coming back together. They just float together. There's no pressure. Or they are very slightly separate. So breathing in, the teeth are separating. Breathing out, they gently float together and gently touch, or not touching at all, but the jaw won't become tense. So you get this soft, slow movement of the jaw. Notice how natural it feels. Notice it feels like a memory that you've always known this. Relaxing the back of the neck, relaxing the back of the head. You may feel different energies. You may feel your brain lightening up. You may feel different qualities through your body. Just enjoy. I'm going to align it more with the body. As the chest is opening, the jaw will open with it. As the chest is closing, the jaw will close with it. Breathing in, chest is opening, the jaw follows. Breathing out, the chest will close, the jaw will close. And dropping down to your abdomen. On the in-breath, the abdomen is opening, the jaw is opening. On the out-breath, the abdomen is closing, the jaw is closing. Get a deep breath through your whole torso, breathing in, the whole torso opening, the jaw relaxing open. Breathing out, the whole torso is closing, the jaw slowly closing. Notice how the face and cranium have started to breathe. In a very subtle way, your face is breathing, and your cranium is breathing. Notice how relaxing it feels. Notice how nurturing it feels. And also being aware of your arms and legs, as if arms and legs opening on the in-breath, closing on the out-breath. Notice how you can get into the whole body, the hands and feet opening on the in-breath, closing on the out-breath. Feel the breath through your whole body and feel in a very subtle, gentle way the face has started to breathe, the neck has started to breathe, the brain and cranium have started to breathe. Okay, so we're going to start with the hands and feet. So if you want to lie down, now is a good time to lie down. If you don't, it's good to have your arms and legs kind of so they can be straight, splayed out. We'll start with the feet, breathing in. We'll just start with them flapping. The toes flap up on the in-breath. Notice how this pulls through the front of the legs. Breathing out, the toes relax down and the leg relaxes. You're still doing the movement of the jaw, you're still doing holographic breathing. Breathing in, the toes are lifting. Front of the thighs will tighten to pull up the feet. Breathing out, the foot and toes are relaxing down. So just do that a few times. Breathing in, the toes lifting. Breathing out, the toes dropping. Now we're also going to do that from the heels. So as well as the toes pulling up at the front, the heels, you feel the calves tightening, pulling the heels. So rather than the foot now flapping up, the foot will stay level and flatten. Notice that as you do that, that will connect directly into your diaphragm. You get this big pull down through the diaphragm. Breathing out, the front and the back of the leg relax and the foot cups. Breathing in, the front and the back of the leg are tightening, the foot is flattening. You're pulling it out straight. Breathing out, the foot just relaxes and goes into a cup position. Notice how this gives you a much longer, slower, deeper breath. You move into a new motion and it just slowly opens. The diaphragm pulls the diaphragm down as the foot is flattening. And the diaphragm slowly rises as the foot relaxes. Feel it pulling on the diaphragm. You feel your whole diaphragm pulling down as the legs tighten and the foot flattens. Breathing out, the diaphragm relaxes and rises as the legs relax and the foot cups. Gives you this long, deep, slow breath. Really feel that. We're not so used to feeling in the breath. Feel that through the back of the legs, through the calves. Long, slow breath. You can do the same with the arms and the hands. Breathing in, the hands are splaying out, the arms are straightening and tightening. This will connect into the diaphragm and above. This will connect you to your lungs and upwards further. Has a different energy. It's the energy of the heart. Breathing out, the arms and hands relaxing. This will give you this much slower, longer, deeper breath. Hands and feet opening, hands and feet closing. Can you feel that in the arms going through your shoulder blades? And from the back of the legs connecting into the back of the pelvis and the lower back. Now you won't be able to feel it because it's inherent in the breath, but it's tightening through the whole back, through the lower back and upper back. Breathing out, it's all relaxing and contracting. So it gives you this very physical breathing of the muscles of the breath. Back of the arms and legs are tightening, the back of the pelvis, the lower back. Notice as the back of the pelvis and the lower back, as they're torsioning, you get this long, deep, slow breath of the diaphragm. And also up through the back of the ribs, all of the muscles in the back of the ribs, they're tightening and lifting the ribs on the in-breath. Right around the whole spine, you're working these muscles right up through the neck, up through the brains. Notice how you start getting releases in your cranium, in your brain. This starts connecting to your head, face and brain. You may not feel the motion, but you start feeling releases through your brain as this motion connects to the head. You can feel the connection from your heels of your hands, the heels of the feet, to the back of your head. Breathing out, they're all relaxing. So the back of the head, lower back of the head, the heels of the hands, the heels, this is the deep earth energies. You may feel this rich, deep earth energies. And you may be feeling it in the back of the head, but it's balancing all around all the different areas of the skull, so the skull stays level. And the skull is opening on the in-breath. Skull is closing on the out-breath. Pulls the spine. I mean, if it feels good, if it feels relaxing, the whole cranium is being pulled down onto the spine and balancing through the whole spine, and the cranium is opening. And the face is opening. Breathing out, it's all relaxing, all of the bones are moving back into their relaxed position. The breath, the physical motion of the muscles of the breath are contortioning and opening the whole skull on the in-breath. And then as the muscles of the breath relax, the whole face and cranium relax back into their natural closed position. Feeling in the back of the head. Now coming round, you can put your fingers on your mastoid processes behind your ears and feel it through your whole body, from your hands and feet. You may feel it in the sides of your arms and legs, connecting to the mastoid process. Notice how you change from being aware of your abdomen to becoming aware of your lungs as you move into the lung circuit. Notice as soon as you become aware of the hands, feet, arms and legs connecting to the mastoid process, connects you to the breath in your lungs. Mastoid process is the lung circuit. So the jaw will just be naturally moving with the breath. Hands and feet are just naturally connecting into the breath. The arms and legs are just naturally connecting into the breath. The sides of the cranium opening as you pull down onto the mastoid processes. The sides of the cranium rotating back in as it all relaxes. And the energy is of the lung circuit, which the lungs are part of that circuit. Notice how relaxing that is to feeling those bones breathing. Now from the mastoid process, we're going to come in and slightly forwards. This will take you to just past the front of the spine in the center. This is the abdomen for the balance bone. That's the start of the fire phoenix. That's the tail of the fire phoenix, right in the middle there. Just forwards from the spine where it's connecting into the cranial, bring you onto the center line. Very likely you'll start feeling warm. Start feeling your pubic arch. This is the fire circuit, connects to the prostate, the uterus, the ovaries and testes. So it may not be easy, but just imagine coming into the center line on the underside of your cranium. You may have to sit back behind it. Your pubic arch will start heating up. Your heart will start heating up. And then moving up through the fire phoenix. And as you do, you'll feel the energy coming into your chest, the center of your chest. In the center of the fire phoenix, there's these two sinuses. Breathing with those sinuses in the center of the fire phoenix. And just going, definitely if you're new, just feeling it however you feel it. It may not be easy for a lot of people, but whatever you feel, that is fine. It is quite deep. It's an area we're not used to traveling into. This will relate directly down and forwards into the nasal passageways. Notice as it comes through the nasal passageways, get this nice warm feeling in your heart. fire phoenix, like a fire dragon, breathing fire through your nasal passageways. To help ventilate that, it's good to come out from your heart to the top of your shoulders, like the wings for the fire phoenix. You start feeling the warmth through your body. You start feeling the arterial blood through your body as this fire phoenix starts coming to life and flapping its wings, spreading its wings on the in-breath, relaxing its wings on the out-breath. Relax the back of your neck, relax the back of the head. It's very good for your genitalia, for your heart, for your hara. Rising up higher in the fire phoenix till you come forwards between the eyes. This is the sinuses of the ethmoid. So notice the energy changes, it becomes much cooler. This relates forwards into the nose. Relax the back of your neck. Still gently breathing with the hands and feet. These will be helping to orchestrate this breathing through the cranium and the sinuses. Breathing with the ethmoid and all of the sinuses in the ethmoid. Will relate to the breath through your nose. It relates to the center lines round the body, vertically around the body. Relates a lot to the stomach and spleen. Relates to the tongue. Feeling the quality of the yellow organs, the ethmoid and the air in the nose. However you're doing, whatever you're feeling, it's fine. From the nose and the ethmoid coming out to the sides into these big maxillary sinuses, either side of the nasal passageways. These will relate back to the mastoid process and the sides of the cranium. Get this deep opening of the cranium, deep opening of the face. Feel your mastoid process and the sides of your head connecting to the big sinuses either side of the nasal passageways. This is back into the lung circuit. Open sideways through the whole body. Maybe doing the movement just very gently with the hands and feet. The whole cranium, the whole face is starting to break up. The bones are separating. The energies are moving. Everything is starting to open and close. Then coming out from the sides of the sinuses into the cheekbones. And this relates to the sinuses in the forehead. This is the kidneys, the adrenals, the bladder, the urethra, the vagina, and penis. This is the blue energy circuit. Notice that connecting a different energy. It's the sinuses in the front of the head, and it's the sinuses in the inner ear and the eardrum, relating to the kidneys and adrenals. Blue, electric, very different energy. You may feel everything loosening through your skull, through your face, as you work one by one through these energies. And whatever you're feeling is fine. Breathing with your inner ears, breathing with these sinuses in your forehead. Gently moving the hands and feet. This will start healing your kidneys, start healing your adrenals, the bladder, the urethra, also as a grounding energy, the vagina and penis. The blue energy circuit, deeply healing. It's so healing, this circuit. This is kind of the missing energies. This is where a lot of people are stressed out. Letting those sinuses breathe. It also connects round into the back of the head. And moving on from these sinuses over the eyes, you move into the eyes and the top of the eye sockets. You might feel this much brighter light. You may feel a flashing in your eyes. This is also, it's the eye sockets, but it's also the sockets, the jaw, it's the TMJs, the jaw sockets, which are just in front of the ears, or the ear hole. And this connects to the brain, to the cerebellum, and it connects to the arms and legs. The arms and legs ground this higher energy circuit. And it connects to the upper vertebrae and where they're joining to the back of the skull. You get bright light in the middle, very lower back of the skull. Also connects to the back of the brain where all of the nerve pathways for the eyes reach into the brain right at the back. That's where we see, is the back of our brain. And get the connection to the top of the head and the divine energies. Notice how this higher circuit connects you to the higher energies and beyond. Also connects you to the higher energies in the earth. Starts lighting this deep light through your whole body. Notice all of the bones of your face and cranium and spine start to melt. Everything melts. Everything starts to release. Kundalini starts to relax and let go. And everything starts to dissolve. Letting yourself feel all of those sinuses, all of the bones of the face, cranium, and the joining of the face and cranium and the spine. They all have different energies. They all breathe. They all connect to the heavens and earth. Letting the energies flow through all of those. And at the same time it flows through the spine melts, the arms and legs melt, everything melts. Relax the back of the neck, relax the back of the head, letting the energies go through your neck and through your cranium. And breathe, all of the bones breathing, all of the sinuses breathing. And start becoming aware of the lower back and sides of your cranium. Lower shoulder blades, the sit bones, the heels of the hands and the heels of the feet. This will drop you back into this deep earth energy. Feeling your heels, your hands and feet, feeling your sit bones and your connection to the earth, feeling the back of the head, the back of the jaw. This relates a lot to the liver and pancreas, these deeper, heavier organs, and the magnetic connection to the earth. This will connect you to the magnetic core of the earth. It's as if you become a magnet. So we're going to come back in about a minute, so just gently being with that. Letting everything settle. Letting everything relax. And sending a thank you to the earth. And a thank you to the higher self and beneficial energies. And thanking yourself for participating. And letting the energies go off for love and healing to the earth. Letting the energies go off for love and healing to the higher self and beneficial energies. And letting yourself be loved and healed. Letting the energies go out to all sentient beings for love and healing. And you are a sentient being, allowing yourself to be loved and healed. And when you feel ready, gently allowing yourself to come back. So this was a brief glimpse of what we do in the advanced webinars. We work with those different circuits. Each circuit has 4 or 5 organs that it relates to, has different energy points through the whole body. We were looking at the energy points between the face and cranium, but there's also all of the energy points in the face, in the cranium, in the spine, in the arms and legs, the hands, feet, the torso. They're like a map through the whole body, connecting to these different energies, to these organs. And for me, this is kind of an unknown healing system. I think my previous teacher brought those energies through and called it Tibetan pulsing, said he was transcribing ancient Tibetan texts. And I was in his first trainings. He was a tremendous healer, and his kundalini was incredible. And when he left, I think that is one of the things that opened up into holographic breathing, because that particular healing system blends itself very well, or those energies open up naturally in holographic breathing. And I've advanced that. The points that I'm teaching are new, because that was with bodywork. You know, you can't touch those points with your fingers, not without killing your client. Anyway, and so I brought through a good another 50% of different points and different ways of working with it in my own way. So holographic breathing, I kind of give it away for free. You know, how to do holographic breathing, these basic movements which are same as osteopathy or craniosacral therapy. You know, I give those out quite generously, really, in free webinars. But really the potent inner work, which is deeply transformational, that's a strong work with a great depth and an evolution, I think, goes on forever. And I don't have any alive teachers that are teaching me that. But very clearly, when I come and teach these webinars, you know, first of all, I'm worrying, oh, how am I going to teach this, or how am I going to teach that? And they kind of come in about an hour before I start and unfold the energies in a way that I could not do myself. So, you know, I'm saying where Diraj transcribed ancient texts, I'm kind of voicing whatever's fed to me in these sessions. So there's my inner process and just working with it as anybody would work with holographic breathing or any breathing, but there's also this wisdom which is far beyond. I mean, we can't know about that wisdom in a physical body. I think it would just blow us to pieces. Our brains just couldn't take it. But there's a higher source that I feel privileged that comes through and helps. And that is what we work with in the advanced webinars. Holographic breathing is very new, pretty well unknown work. And there's something potent about being involved in the genesis of something, because this it's going to go beyond my death. You know, that is one of the reasons I record everything, so that when I leave, it's not lost, it's still all there. So you may realise I've got a very high regard of holographic breathing, and you may or may not agree with me, that is fine, but that is what's up for offer.